Good evening. Have myself a nice hot cup of Earl Grey tea for tonight's reading, but more than tonight's reading. It is Christmas Eve this evening, and I had a bunch of activities this morning. I did my coffee show. I did an interview that went real well. I hurried off to church and attended church service. And my name is Ken Tracy, and I've been reading the Bible, starting at the Old Testament for about 2.5 months. I go live and do it every night. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. If you've been coming along for the adventure, I appreciate you too. I've been struggling almost since day one reading the Old Testament. I think it's very eye-opening if you read it. The words that are in there and the stories that are in there are probably not what most people would expect. And I've struggled with them. There's a lot of yuckiness and ugliness and violence and stuff you don't want to be reading about night after night, and no feeling of goodness that I was getting from it. And it's been challenging for me, and I imagine it will continue to be challenging for me. But anyway, I went to church service this morning, early this afternoon. And I'll tell you what, just being in there, I felt goodness that I had missed reading the Old Testament. The songs that were being sung and the words that the pastor spoke about love and redemption and made my eyes water and me tear up a few times as I was in the service. So it kind of gave me maybe some strength, if you will, to keep reading and hope that there is a reason and a lesson that I'm being taught as I read the chapters of Deuteronomy. I actually was on such a spiritual kick when I got back from church. And again, if you watch my show, you know I've seen The House of David and The Chosen over the last few months and really enjoyed them. There is a movie that probably a lot of you have seen. I'm curious if you have, called The Passion of Christ. Or is it The Passion of the Christ? I don't know. But either way, it's 2004. And I came home. It was Christmas Eve. Missing my kids a little bit, but feeling like I'm on a bit of a spiritual ride, and was set to watch the Passion of the Christ, and I clicked on it, and I'm watching it for the first 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then I fast forwarded it, and they're all speaking this strange language, and I learned that the Passion of the Christ was filmed in, I believe, in Aramaic and Latin and maybe Greek, depending on which characters are talking. And it was confusing as heck, and I didn't know what was going on, but I think I finally, after about half an hour searching for various versions of the movie, found one with English subtitles. So I hit play, and I'll tell you, I was pretty tired at this point, and it was in the first 5 minutes of the movie, and my eyes started kind of drifting off and feeling heavy. And I took about an hour and a half nap on the couch. Woke up about 15 minutes ago, and here you are watching me at this moment. So I'm going to take a sip of my Earl Grey tea. Oh, that's nice. And I am going to commence with tonight's reading of, I think it's chapters 25, and I believe it's chapters 25 and 26 from the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy kind of snuck up on me and has been one of the more thought-provoking books I've read so far in the Old Testament. And honestly, I don't mean thought-provoking in a good way. But anyway, chapters 25 and 26 from the book of Deuteronomy. Chapter 25. If there is a dispute between men and they come into court and the judges decide between them, acquitting the innocent and condemning the guilty, then if the guilty man deserves to be beaten, the judge shall cause him to lie down and be beaten in his presence with a number of stripes in proportion to his offense. 40 stripes may be given him, but no more, not more, lest. If one should go on to beat him with more stripes than these, your brother be degraded in your sight. You shall not muzzle an ox when it is treading out the grain. Laws concerning levirate marriage. If brothers dwell together, and one of them dies and has no son, the wife of the dead man shall not be married outside the family to a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go into her and take her as his wife and perform the duty of a husband's brother to her. And the first son whom she bears shall succeed to the name of his dead brother, that his name may not be blotted out of Israel. And if the man does not wish to take his brother's wife, then his brother's wife shall go up to the gate to the elders and say, my husband's brother refuses to perpetuate his brother's name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of a husband's brother to me. Then the elders of the city shall call him and speak to him. And if he persists, saying, I do not wish to take her, then his brother's wife shall go up to him in the presence of the elders and pull his sandal off his foot and spit in his face. And she shall answer and say, so shall it be done to the man who does not build up his brother's house. And the name of his house shall be called in Israel, the house of him who had his sandal pulled off. Miscellaneous laws. When men fight with one another, and the wife of the one draws near to rescue her husband from the hand of him who is beating him, and puts out her hand and seizes him by the private parts, then you shall cut off her hand. Your eye shall have no pity. You shall not have in your bag 2 kinds of weights, a large and a small. You shall not have in your house 2 kinds of measures, a large and a small. A full and fair weight you shall have. A full and fair measure you shall have, that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. For all who do such things, all who act dishonestly, are an abomination to the Lord your God. Remember what Amalek did to you on the way as you came out of Egypt, how he attacked you on the way when you were faint and weary, and cut off your tail. Those who were lagging behind you, and he did not fear God. Therefore, when the Lord your God has given you rest from all your enemies around you, in the land that the Lord your God is giving you for an inheritance to possess, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven. You shall not forget. Chapter 26, Offerings of First Fruits and Tithes. When you come into the land that the Lord your God is giving you for an inheritance, and take possession of it and live in it, you shall take some of the first of all the fruit of the ground, which you harvest from your land that the Lord your God is giving you, and you shall put it in a basket, and you shall go to the place that the Lord your God will choose to make his name dwell there. And you shall go to the priest who is in office at the time, and say to him, I declare today to the Lord your God that I have come into the land that the Lord swore to our fathers to give us. Then the priest shall take the basket from your hand and set it down before the altar of the Lord your God. And you shall make response before the Lord your God. A wandering Aramean was my father, and he went down into Egypt and sojourned there, few in number, and there he became a nation, great, mighty, and populous. And the Egyptians treated us harshly, and humiliated us, and laid on us hard labor. Then we cried to the Lord, the God of our fathers, and the Lord heard our voice, and saw our affliction, our toil, and our oppression. And the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, with great deeds of terror, with signs and wonders. And he brought us into this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And behold, now I bring the first of the fruit of the ground, which you, O Lord, has given me. And you shall set it down before the Lord your God, and worship before the Lord your God. And you shall rejoice in all the good that the Lord your God has given to you, and to your house, you and the Levite, and the sojourner who is among you. When you have finished paying all the tithe of your produce in the 3rd year, which is the year of tithing, give it to the Levite, the sojourner, the fatherless, and the widow, so that they may eat within your towns and be filled. Then you shall say before the Lord your God, I have removed the sacred portion out of my house, and moreover, I have given it to the Levite, the sojourner, the fatherless, and the widow, according to all your commandment that you have commanded me. I have not transgressed any of your commandments, nor have I forgotten them. I have not eaten of the tithe while I was mourning, or removed any of it while I was unclean, or offered any of it to the dead. I have obeyed the voice of the Lord my God. I have done according to all that you have commanded me. Look down from your holy habitation, from heaven, and bless your people Israel, and the ground that you have given us, as you swore to our fathers, a land flowing with milk and honey. This day the Lord your God commands you to do these statutes and rules. You shall therefore be careful to do them with all your heart and with all your soul. You have declared today that the Lord is your God, and that you will walk in his ways, and keep his statutes and his commandments and his rules, and will obey his voice. And the Lord has declared today that you are a people for his treasured possession, as he has promised you, and that you are to keep all his commandments, and that he will set you in praise and in fame and in honor high above all nations that he has made, and that you shall be people holy to the Lord your God, as he promised. And with that, we are done with tonight's reading of chapters 25 and 26 from the book of Deuteronomy. Looks like we have about 10 pages left in this book. Again, I was at church today, and my eyes watered. I shed a tear or two listening to the pastor talk and the songs being sung and the goodness that is going to my church. And again, I don't feel any closer to God or to spirituality as I read through the Old Testament. And maybe there's a reason or a rhyme or a reason for that. But I do know I'm on the path as it is intended for me. And maybe not understanding is part of my path for whatever reason. And there you go. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. Merry Christmas to you, Randy. Thank you for hopping on. I hope your Christmas Eve is going well, your Tuesday night as well, or excuse me, your Wednesday night as well. I am going to drink a little tea and start watching the Passion of the Christ again tonight. and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a quiet night. I hope I can get a good night's rest, and I hope you go to bed with some peace and a quiet mind and a full heart this evening. And yeah, I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And I hope to talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.